continue with the next company, dear ladies and gentlemen, please be reminded that you are very welcome to ask questions via the chat window, and the next great company presenting today is DATAGROUP SE. DATAGROUP is one of the leading German IT service companies. 3,500 employees at locations across Germany design, implement, and operate IT infrastructures and business applications, such as SAP. I'm welcoming Mrs. Claudia Erning, who is IR Manager of DATAGROUP. We are happy having you, and I'll handle over to you, Mrs. Erning.
Thank you very much, but I have to make some changes. My name is Oliver Thome. I'm a CFO of DATAGROUP since the 1st of October. Thank you very much for the introducing, and thank you very much. I'm very proud to can show you the analyst presentation of November 2021 and our preliminary figures of the fiscal year 2021. This is a start. I'm very proud and happy to be part of DATAGROUP, and you see the significantly exceeds of our guidance with record results, which shows that we increased our sales from the past to the actual fiscal year. We ended on September this year from 358 up to 445 million euros, of about 24%, more than 24%. This means, and this is very important, that we, on the other hand, made it that we saved our costs, that we pushed our profitability, so that we increased our EBITDA as well, an amount more than our sales with 25%. What we can see, and this is very nice, is our EPS, which increased up to an amount of to €2.42, which in the past fiscal year was with special amounts which decreased the amount, but what shows that we have a great year and we earned money, and with extraordinary results, which I can show you as well. Our organic growth, and that's very important, is about 7.7%. That means that we made what we do in the past with about 30% of organic growth, and about 60 up to 70% with inorganic growth. In the past fiscal year, we made two first consolidations of the company Orano and DNA. I will show you in the next slides. The record results were driven by three pillars. These pillars were the profitability of our companies, of our market companies in the last fiscal year. The second was to increase our contract volume by our customers, in which we hired new customers. We increased the customers of existing customers, and the third one is the digitalization, which we use for our own business as well. Digitalization, what does this mean at our company at DATAGROUP? Digitalization here, for example, in three examples in which we made some very smart and artificial intelligence driven projects in the bank branch, in retailing, and in the telecommunication. Very important, when you look on the right side, automation of incoming ticket and IT service desk as a project we managed in our company as well. So we use our own digitalization knowledge to optimize our production of IT services. One company who is very special focused on this digitalization is Almato. Almato, one of the big customers of them is the company Chibo, and there you can see that we beside the branch as well as in the product range, we drive the digitalization further from IT solutions, app solutions, in the store solutions up to the hosting and operation solutions. Let's have a look in the figures of DATAGROUP for the preliminary accounts of 2021. What you can see and what we just saw on the first slide is that we increased our sales of about 24%. But very important is when you look at our material expenses, so our gross profit we can held very stable, and we were able to optimize our personal costs. They absolutely rise, but in percent we decreased the amount of about 5% instead of the fiscal year 2019-20. So we had some extraordinary write-offs done in the past fiscal year of amount of about 3.2 million euro to optimize our location situation and to go further in our strategy to centralize more things which we produce central, and we have led in the result more depreciation in the market companies. That means this is a one-time effect which will decrease the distance between EBITDA and EBIT in the future. As well as the EBIT, you can see, has a very strong growth. We made a really fantastic year in 2021, and so with a very good tax quote, we were able to increase especially our net income and the EPS. Let's have a look at our balance figures, and there you can see two different things. At first, we increased in net debt in two companies, Almato and DNA, and these have effects in the position goodwill and our net profit and our cash and cash equivalents. On the other hand, that's very important is that you can see that our equity rised from 72% up to nearly 22%, and this is very important, you can see, for our further development. Let's now have a look in the cash flow position. In this cash flow position, I would please you to look in two positions. The first is the cash flow from operating activities, which we could rise from an amount from 22 up to nearly 50 million euros. This 50 million euros were extremely driven in the position two. You can see the cash flow from investing activities in which we were able to reduce the capex costs from 22 meanwhile to 11 million euro. This shows that the strategy to centralize our production of our services will decrease the depreciation in the future, and this will be our goal for our goals in our EBIT margin. It just works. What does this mean? The new executive board for the new fiscal year is that Mr. Max Schaber, I think you all know him very well, the founder and CEO of DATAGROUP, meanwhile since 38 years, will end and runs for the supervisory board at the next annual meeting. Mr. Andreas Baresel, he joins the board since 2 years. He is part of DATAGROUP since 2012, will follow Mr. Max Schaber in his role as a CEO. Myself, Oliver Thome, I'm since 15 years in IT business and with many years of attention in M&A, investor relations, and in economics. And the third one who will come into the board is Dr. Sabine Laukemann. In the 1st of April, she will be responsible for human resources, strategy, and organization. What do we do? You do your core business, and we make your IT. And this means that we do this with about 3,000 or more than 3,500 employees all over Germany. We do this with our locations across Germany, and we do this innovating data-driven automatic process. We do service as a product approach, and this core box called is our profitability. What can you see? You can see the revenues in the past 10 years grow of about 15% by year. When you look, and this is more important, that we grow our gross margin through recurring revenues up to 80% in this year. This means 80% of our gross margin we can make year by year with our contract situation. Look at our EBITDA. Our EBITDA record amount in the year 21 of about 67.3 million euro development, and this confirms the profitable growth, and it shows that in the past we had some one-off effects of acquisitions, and when you look that this year we didn't have a result equal to this, we made the best year in the history of DATAGROUP. The same situation that you can see in the development by the EBIT. What I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation about that you saw that we have some extraordinary depreciations of amount of about 3.2 million euros, which when you look and make an addition to the amount of 29.1 million euro, you see that we are in a EBIT range of about 7.2%. What's our goal? Our medium-term EBIT target is 9%. The increasing of our EBIT we will reach with 3 points. The first I show you in the cash flow statement is to reduce our capex costs. We just shown in the past year we reduced an amount of about 10 million euros. And the second one is we will optimize our companies. We will optimize the EBIT situation. And the third one is to digitalize and profitabilize our own products. As well, we can optimize our office structure. The new situation that we have very flexible solutions for our employees shows that we will reach our EBIT targets in the future. What's the market? The market only for Germany is about 180 billion euro, in which about 23% is for IT services, our core business. This shows that our goal and that what we want to reach to be the leader in the German market in IT services is as well reachable for us, and that the strategy to be very focused on the German market gives us the right potential for our further activities. With what do we do this? This is our core box, service as a product, and this replaced the time and material business. We are offering modular, carefree IT for you, that you can look for your core business, and we are looking for our core box, and this means your IT. This is the standardization, the factory manufactured of IT operations. This means standardization is the first step of automatization, and DATAGROUP as cloud enabler is one of the strongest partners in the IT service and IT market in Germany. What do this means? Our operation combines our own data centers with co-location and public cloud integration. This means that we can offer every customer a maximum secure, perfect, connected public cloud and CapEx light solution with the highest level of standardization. There you can see what we are doing is we have our centralized product companies, and these centralized product companies, they produce IT for our market companies. This means a very high efficiency against and cost control and a grade of automation. We are in the near of our customers. We are eye high. We are talking their speech. What do this means? To realize our business, we have to provide the highest security standards. The security standards you can see with ISO certification. We have several ISO certification for different branches so that we are able to grow in our market with our branches, with our good name, DATAGROUP. Data security, one of the big points and bullets for the future, and this is one of our top priority points, is that IT must be available, confidential, high integrated, and compliance with regular requirements and other legal binding rules. We can do this with our knowledge. IT security is one of the highest driven things which we have in our board, and the organizational incorporation at management level is in our own board. We have a very, very high classified ISMS, and so we look for your data, we look for your safe data. Let us have a look on our business and what's the difference when I say we produce IT and we have long-term and recurring revenues. What you can see on the first slide is we start with a transition phase in the contract. A contract which starts normally has a period of about 4.5 years. In this time, we have normal basic core box revenues. But the goal, and this comes normally in the second year, that we can increase this with core box upselling. This means that beside the contract, our customers look for additional core box products. Over this, we can increase the delivery level of services, and sometimes, and this shows that we can go to projects at customers as well. When the contract, the first step, ends at about 5.5 years, normally our contract volume will prolongate to a period of about 8 years. And what you can see is when the transition period is calculated for 4 years and your contract is working for 8 years, it's a very nice second life of this contract situation. For whom do we look for our core box? This is a picture you can see. We have no cluster risks, we have no sector risks, and we are hardly very economic driven in all relevant branches. Very important is the customer satisfaction. The customer satisfaction is for us one of the biggest marketing effects, and so that we can hold our customers and to develop them. Among 850 evaluated IT and outsourcing, cloud sourcing contracts were evaluated, and we were ranked on position 3. So we are very proud because we are very good, but we are looking for coming on first place as well in the future. Who is looking for satisfied customers? These are our employees, and they are very, very important for us. We have several points that we are looking for: the flexibility to combine the family with the work. We have very modern workspaces which we can offer all over Germany, and this means that we are looking for employees, for new employees as well, so that we have several of our collaboration or academic collaborations here as well shown with 3 examples with the Technische Hochschule in Rosenheim in Bavaria, Hochschule Mainz, and the Hochschule Aachen. What's important as well is that we have about 180 apprentices and students at DATAGROUP. Our dual growth strategy. What we want to do is to grow further. You saw we grow in the past and 1 year with about 24%, very, very nice. And we want to go further with this growth so that we want to make an inorganic growth of about 60 up to 70% and about 30% with organic growth. organic growth will be driven by prolongation and to establish further contracts at customers we just have in our books, as well as new customers we just boarded on. This means that you can trust us, because this means that the ambitions we yearly show to you will be reached every year. And this, in the past 7 years, you can see in this graphic that we were all time in or over our ambition estimation. What's our goal for the future? In 22-23, we want to reach an EBITDA of about more than 50% and an EBIT more than 9%. We want to rise our business and our sales in 25-26 with a growth up to 750 million euro. Our M&A history. We just made it to implement and to make a successful acquisition of about 27 different companies. 2 of them, DNA and Urano, joined DATAGROUP as well in the past year. I just want now to show you what they are doing. Urano, we just acquired this year, is a provider and IT service company with about 300 employees with a location in Rheinland-Pfalz. For us, and the takeover is a win-win situation for us. For the first step, what in the area we didn't have been before, and to increase our CORBOX business to the business of Urano. DNA as well, interesting company, which is for our banking and insurance sector, with several locations in Germany. In combination with DATAGROUP BIT Düsseldorf and with DATAGROUP BIT Hamburg, we will increasing our branch focus and our profit in the finance industry. It's worth. You see our the development of our share prices, and I think what you have seen is that especially in the past 5 years we increased our share price enormously, and you see what happened this year after Corona situation, a special situation for DATAGROUP in the past year, but you see that we are a trusted and a very good investment, especially for these guys who are investing in DATAGROUP since several years. I think they have a good view on our accounts. The consensus, I think we can shortly have a look for. We just made and we can increase the consensus in EBITDA, and we put it into the revenues. The earning after taxes, we just are in our goals. ESG, one of the major points for the future. We do very much good things, but we just saw that our ranking in ESG is not as well, that we are now just working very hard on it to get a better ranking and collecting our things, what we are doing into the ranking of the ESG report. You see who is invested in our board, and you see how the structure of shareholder is just of DATAGROUP with the major shareholder Max Schaber with his company HAS, as well with the board percentages. We have a strong leading shareholder who is looking for the strategy and the further strategy, which is as well comparable with the past. You see, we are doing very much for showing you our accounts, our strategy, and you see this will be the dates. I hope we can see us personally as well. Information, my colleague Claudia Erning, we will now answer your questions. You can go straight direct to Claudia for further questions. And now you see what's the summary. This is profitable, this is secure, and this is strong. And this we will be and we want to be today and in the future. Thank you very much, and I'm hoping I can answer now your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Thome, for the interesting insights. We have already received some questions. First one, you recorded a growth of almost 25% compared to last year. Do you think you can repeat this success in 2022?
This will be very nice. I said that our strategy for growing is about 1/3 organically and about 2/3 anorganically. When we have the same situation like in the past year, it will be possible, but it depends on finding the right targets for anorganic growth.
Next question, besides cybersecurity, what are challenges in your industry that should be anticipated?
The challenge is that cybersecurity switched. You have now an industrialized service desk for cyber hacking. This is what we have to look for and to protect our customers. This means that we will increase our portfolio, our CORBOX portfolio in security products. And I think this will be one of the most rising market things we can participate in.
Okay. Your company navigated through acquisitions in the current fiscal year. What were the strategic reasons for that, and how did it affect you so far?
I just showed it has been DNA and Urano, two companies. In Urano, the reason was to exceed in a region we didn't have been before in Rheinland-Pfalz. As well as an interesting customer relationship in which we can put in our CORBOX business, which is not included yet as Urano. DNA is one of our banking-focused companies in which we can stabilize and to grow in our banking branch, which is now about a whole volume of about 20% of all sales. And so this has been the focus, the technology, and the banking customers of DNA.
Okay. Do you think about further acquisitions in the midterm?
We are permanently screening the market, and so I cannot give you more details to this, but you can believe that we will go on with our strategy in organic growth, and so we are screening permanently the market, and we are very closed at this point with the market.
Okay. Yes, I think that's it with the questions. Thank you, Mr. Thome, again for the great presentation and information. We are now at the end of this presentation slot. I wish you all the best and goodbye.